Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and on this episode, we're just going to start it out. I'm on my way over there. I've got everything I might need with me to do pretty much any repair, but I just have one bucket I kind of use when I'm doing a diagnosis. We got to figure out what's wrong first. All I know is they got this towed to their house last night. It's not running. Let's see if we can fix that. This is a truck I've actually looked at before. It's been about a year and it just had a fuse problem, so I'm sure the customer is pretty competent in doing repairs and maintenance by themselves on their truck, but obviously there's something a little bit more going on here, and there was quite a few issues I ran into. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I've noticed the positive terminal's looking a little beat up. They said the battery's new, but I'm just going to go ahead and test the battery and make sure that it's putting out enough amps to actually start the truck. I did try and start it already, and it sounds like almost a starter, just kind of a faint click. It's not really hard enough to make me think it is a starter, just kind of that idea that everything works when you put the key in, it's just only clicking a little. Alright, this is a new tester I'm just testing out, and it's showing me 34 amps coming out of this. And I was worried for a second until I touched that positive terminal a little bit better. And obviously that's going to be causing an issue. All I'm going to do is take the terminal off now and put the clamp directly on the post and just measure the battery itself. $7.19, yeah, it was like 34 before that. That's it. Bad terminal. I pointed that out when I got here. I think I brought terminals with me. Let's go ahead and get it fixed for him. I guess if I didn't have terminals, that's the O'Reilly's right there. So I could have easily just walked 2 feet over and got a different terminal. Okay, I think they're in one of these because they always grab onto my wires when I'm trying to pull stuff out. But I keep them in here for this exact reason. Once a month, 2 a month. Alright, let's hop back over to the truck real quick. You can see they recently replaced this battery. I do believe them, especially now that it tested well, but you can see the stickers on there and everything. I'm not sure what was going on with the air filter here. I was wondering if maybe it was like stopped up, but I'm guessing they probably just put some starting fluid or something in there to see what they could do, and we'll deal with that if we have to. Hopefully this terminal fixes it. Let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm actually going to go for just a normal approach on replacing these terminals. Now, the connection that it already had was a little bit wonky. You can kind of see that one of the cable ends was cut, and they were just using a stud on that to run through the terminal itself. On the other one, it has a hole, but that hole's actually not big enough to fit in the terminal that I brought with me. Sometimes I'll just drill the hole a little bit bigger, but since I already am going to cut that other wire and strip it down, and these terminals come with great little connectors, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other wire as well. And this is going to go back together nice. If the wires are long enough, I always check that beforehand before I cut anything, and I'm always careful when I'm stripping that old rubber plastic off of the wires. Also, another thing I look for is corrosion. A lot of the ground wires especially will get corrosion running all the way down through the cable, and those are easier to replace if you just want to go ahead and swap the whole ground cable out. But everything was looking clean and nice, so that rubber was still nice and flexible. I just got it peeled off of those wires, and it's cleaned up nice. Yeah, pretty much covers it all. Okay, that should start. I might have to jump it. Oh, I was gonna say when I tried to start it earlier, it definitely sounded like maybe the starter because it was barely clicking, but it was really faint. It was like, but all the lights came on and everything. There's been popping fuses in the past, and the only other time I come to look at this like a year ago, it had a bad fuse. So let's see if it starts. No. All right. Same fuse I was actually here for like a year ago. They said it's been blowing fuses. It keeps popping them. So I'm assuming they knew where to replace this one. And obviously it wasn't the only issue going on. Well, I'm curious why they didn't replace the fuse yet if they did try and start it. I didn't ask them though. And if it keeps blowing fuses, I'm definitely going to have to look into that. But right now we're just going to go ahead and put a new one in, and man, they should start. So it definitely sounds like fuel to me. I can't check the fuel pressure, but this other terminal's a little loose. Just in case it's that, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it up. Also, the other time I came here, I noticed they had this connector plugged in. I thought maybe that was blowing the fuses as well. I think they said it was just an OBD2 reader, and they don't plug it in all the time, but definitely something to think about. Let me know what you think. I'm also testing out this TopDON TopScan plug-in guru here. This is a little OBD2 connector, and it'll turn your phone, it works with either iOS or Android, into its own scan tool. This thing hooked up super fast, and let me tell you, it's bi-directional. I think this is going to be my go-to scan tool for the next year. I say year, I'm pulling up all the information for this Ford here so I can see what's going on. They have free updates for a year, and this thing was so easy to use, and I'm telling you, it had all the live data, bi-directional, everything. Check it out on the screen here. This isn't the Ford I'm working on. I didn't have any like B-roll for that. So not only was I able to hook this up to my phone real fast, it hooked up to the truck real fast. And I'm gonna go ahead and you can see pull up some live data there. We've got a couple of codes, but there wasn't a code for like anything fuel pressure related stored. So I went and dug a little bit deeper, and look what I found. Lo and behold, the fuel module sender unit isn't working, or we've got a code for that not working. I'm gonna pull up a lot of the live data and the bidirectional here as well. I wanted to test the fuel pressure up on the rail, but there wasn't a Schrader valve, so I'm just gonna check the live data and see what the fuel pressure regulator voltage is telling me. And let me just actually show you how many live data the points there are for this 2004 F-150. I think this is more than the scan tool that I normally use. So there you go, just scroll fast all the way to the end. That's crazy. Again, let's pull up that fuel pressure sensor and see what that says. Yeah, it's definitely not doing anything. I tried to use the bidirectional controls to turn on the pump as well. So we've got a bigger problem on our hands. If you want one of these TopDON TopScan plug-in OBD2 readers, check out the link in the description and pinned comment for an extra special deal. But I'll go ahead and tell you from my experience, this is definitely one of the best bidirectional deals that I've ever seen. All right, there it is, I knew it. I couldn't check the fuel pressure up there. We got the fuel pump driver module offline. All right, I thought there was supposed to be a fuse there. When I was back here looking, I realized, oh, maybe that's what was clicking, especially since it was towed. So, fingers crossed I can reset this. Where'd it go? Oh, well, maybe not. I kind of felt something though. Let's try that. Well, I haven't even tried to crank it yet. I just figured I'd come down here because I was up under the hood putting that filter back on and just double checking that there wasn't a fuel pump fuse under there, or that none of the fuses under there were busted, but there was just one. Anyways, before I decided to crank it, I came under here and found the issue. Definitely that. Shouldn't be too expensive to replace. I think those are like 40, 50 bucks. All right, and with that, that was the fuel pump driver module. Very obvious that that's what's causing an issue, especially because we had a code come up for that. Well, in this case, it was like $115 from all of the auto parts stores, but if they wanted to order it online, it was like 30-40 bucks. So I just went ahead and told them that, and they're gonna order the part and install it themselves. So this is gonna be the end of the video. If you like this video, if this is your first time here, or if you're back for more than your first time, make sure you're subscribed. Check out the next video up here if you want to help out the Cummins build or help me take my wife to dinner. You can donate at the links down in the description down below. I'll see you in the next episode. That's a job well done. Diagnosis, at least.